I drowned. And then you take the breath and it's like, I think I was expecting to like cough a bunch, but like, it was like calm and then just lights out. You're in like this expanding mist and like you're going through every important person in your life. Watch them be okay. Next person, watch them be okay. Next person. And I'm living in my truck breaks down. I'm Ubering to work. I'm like, life, dude, what the fuck is the point of life? I started thinking about like hurting myself. If I didn't have the gym at that time, you know, something would have happened. I'm usually the guy that's taking everybody through the workout, but today it's my origin story.
There's a lot about his past that I'm not really sure about or know about, so I'm learning today, just like we are. But you had a rough one growing up in Lake County. Can you take us back to kind of how all that started or what it was like growing up there?
Lake County is like, it was like one of the poorest counties in the state. And then I lived in like a one stoplight town, just poor families. Everybody was commuting to, my dad was a construction worker, would drive like 120 miles one way to work and back. So I never saw him growing up. I lived up in the middle of the pine forest, like 300 people in my town. Then we moved down to Middletown, which was like the big town. One stoplight, had the K through 12 high school. Nothing to do, man. You just like, you either were going to jail young or you started getting into sports. And I got in trouble and then started getting into sports. But growing up, it was just a lot of free time to where you had a lot of time to get into trouble. My hometown didn't have a police station, so you could do whatever the fuck you wanted and get away with it. First workout we're gonna do is seated hamstring curl. Mike and I both are focusing on like hamstrings, adductors. We're trying to grow massive legs for classic, and adductors and hamstrings are a big part of it. So seated leg curl, this is gonna be our first thing. We have a bunch of hamstring curls today, a bunch of hip movements today. So yeah, we're just gonna get into it. Fucking hamstring.
Not a first round question.
Yeah, fitness, I was like, fitness kind of took me in a good path and like kept me like, hey dude, like you can kind of go this way. You don't have to be like that. Underload, new sponsor, Stigma supplements. We tried this the other day. I think it was like their passion fruit flavor. That was awesome. Extreme pump, we got Baja Burst. We're about to do legs. All right, leg day. That's actually pretty good. I like that. They got good products. The taste is really good. The ingredients are good. I like their protein. I like their pre-workout. I like their electrolyte mix. I'm like 4 weeks from a show. Everything is pretty clean, so I can still keep it in my diet.
You had kind of mentioned that fitness is kind of something that saved you. Was that after earlier you said, you know, you got yourself in trouble? Did you find fitness after that incident?
I think fitness kind of like kept me walking the line because up there it was like Emerald Triangle, so there was a lot of weed being grown, and back then like you would get put away for some time for that, and a lot of meth. So I have friends that are doing consecutive life sentences for murder because of meth, and friends that are doing a lot of time for weed, and family members doing that. So I always knew I was walking this line because I could hang out with these people that were like felons, and I could hang out with these people that were like D1 college athletes. Yeah. And I was like, dude, which direction do I head? And I finally just got into fitness, and it just kind of like sparked my interest on body mechanics, like what your body can be capable of. And the decisions could be made to like, hey, you want to go ride and do this, or no, I gotta get up and go to the gym in the morning. I started making those decisions.
So he's pulling high in the adductor. He's not trying to pull down here. We're at the top now.
One of my buddies, I was supposed to meet with him in Chico. I decided to not go, decided to the gym the next morning. He ended up getting drunk, getting into an altercation, killing 2 people, running. getting caught in Sacramento, I was supposed to be there. Like fitness kind of took me in a good path. I still remember that. I remember him calling me.
That would be a weird phone call in the morning.
I remember him calling me before he showed up in Chico, and then I remember his brother calling me saying that he shot 2 dudes at a bar. His brother's a Navy fighter pilot, and like that's also weird to me. Is like they're 2 years apart. One of them's in jail for 2 consecutive life sentences. One's like a decorated like military. You're like, how does that fucking happen? Same environment, same, we grew up in the smallest little town. Like, how did that veer like that?
So we're still up there in Lake County. Was there one event where you got yourself into a whole lot of trouble where you were like, I got to get out of this and do my own thing? Like when I crashed on my motorcycle and nothing happened and I was like, I'm done. I got to change paths.
Yeah. I had like a sick Audi wide body A6. Like we were balling, had money. And I was heading home to my dad's house. We lived on the north side of the lake, and I'm just cruising and I see 3 sheriffs on the side of the road. I'm like, well, that fucking sucks. And I think in my head, oh, my tags are expired. Sure enough, I get lit up. I got 10 pounds of weed in my trunk, and I got an unregistered handgun under my passenger seat. And I'm like, well,
So we're looking at some serious trouble.
I'm like thinking, do I run? Because I'm done. Like if I get pulled over, I'm smoking. They smell weed. Like
Yeah.
I'm fucked. So I get pulled over. I'm like, do I wait till he gets up here and fucking take off? And I'm like, you know what, just fuck it. Something told me to stay. And dude comes up. It's a friend of mine from high school.
Wow.
And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, going home. He's like, you got weed on you? I was like, a little bit. He's like, is that all you got on you? I was like, no. He's like, get out of here.
Wow.
And so I was like a mile from my house. It's really like that was God. I could say that now. I didn't know who God was back then, but that was God being like, I'm giving you this chance, bro. You gotta get out of this. So, all right, in between sets, I just want to give a huge shout out to Optimum Formula. That's one of our sponsors. They're close friends of mine. They're awesome people. It's an awesome company. We test everything above and beyond. You know exactly what you're getting. Very easy to get. So huge shout out to Optimum Formula. Love you guys. You guys are always hooking us up with peptides for our guests, for us. So thank you guys so much.
I came in one day and I was like, my son's mom's, she died. And that kind of led us to talk a lot about you. And you were like, hey, Mike, I've actually felt like I've died twice in my life. And we kind of touched on like what that was like. Can you take us through it?
Oh yeah. I mean, that brings us back to Lake County. But the first time I was like 5, and Lake County, obviously there's a lot of lakes, a lot of rivers. So we would like go in the river, those old school inner tubes that was just like tube for a tire. And I was in one, like butt through the center, kind of sprawled over it. And something happened to where like, I don't know if like a rock fell off the side, but like a splash happened and like a lot of water hit me and almost like pushed me through the center. And then I was down, and I can picture it still of like finding your bearings. And like, mind you, I'm like 5, right? And you're like, okay, where's up? Okay, you see a slant, like, okay, the river, like I can go this way. I can't swim. And so I'm like grabbing rocks, trying to pull myself, but the rocks are pulling to me because I'm underwater. And then you start like gagging a little bit because you like can't hold your breath.
You're basically drowning at this point.
I drowned to death. Yeah. So you just know like, hey, I have to take a breath of whatever.
Yeah.
And then you take the breath and it's like, I think I was expecting to like cough a bunch, but like, it was like calm and then just lights out. It's like went dim. And then you're in this place where it's like, you're in like this expanding mist. This sounds weird, I'm sure it does, but you're like in this expanding mist and like you're going through every important person in your life and you're not worried about yourself. So like say like you show up, it's like Mike, boom. And it goes through everything that we've done, and then it like literally goes into the future until I see that you're okay. And then it's the next person, and you just like watch them be okay. Next person, watch them be okay. Next person, and you like try to go through all of this shit. I obviously got brought back, so you know, at some point it's just like you come back to this other world.
Second time we died, were we a little bit older, like an adult? And like, is there something like when you came back that you took from it?
So second time I was definitely an adult. There was like one of the largest wildland fires in California history happened up in my home county. We got evacuated, so I came down here to get out of the smoke. And then my truck broke down. I think I brought $1,200 with me. I took it to the shop. It was $1,180. I had $20 in a working truck, and I made a decision to stay down here. And so I was living with my buddy Skyler, and he's like, dude, I'll let you stay here. Like, we're vegan, you know, we don't eat a lot of food, but we'll feed you. So I was working at Point Loma Sports Club, like 15-hour days, eating vegan. I was like 170 pounds, so I was very small. And I got home from work one day, just starved, and me and my buddy are talking, and he's very intellectual like me. We're talking about stuff. We're talking about like how we're just the observer of our bodies, and like this is a vessel. And it was almost like we almost figured something out we weren't supposed to. And like my brain like short circuited. Like I literally was standing there. I remember thinking, it's weird that I can like think about moving my hands and they move. And then I just passed out standing up, straight over, and hit my face on concrete. Broke my eye socket. I had a near-death experience then. And I was back in that same place, back in that same mist, doing that same releasing. The only difference was when I got to Skyler, who was my buddy, I was like, he's not gonna get over me dying in front of him. And as soon as I thought that, I woke up and I was on the ground. I had pissed myself. I was talking to myself in third person. My heart was like rushing, and this calm voice was like talking to me in third person, saying like, you still have things to do here. I'm like, I'm not a douchebag. I don't talk to myself in third person. So I'm like, I don't know what that was, but it was God, you know? And it was the second time it happened. I went back to the same place. So I know there's a place that we go where we release things before we go. What's that?
You and I, over the years, we've had a lot of similar things happen with girls, relationships, stuff like that. Is there anything recently that's happened to you that has kind of reshaped who Peter is today?
I loved a girl for like 20 years, and we were married for 8. And I mean, had troubles like any marriage would have. Started working with a pastor and going through like marriage counseling. I felt my duty was to like work on that and try to make it work. And I thought that was her intention too. But come to find out, she was like seeing someone behind my back. And that realization of somebody that you've known for that long, like saw graduate high school and shit like that, can do something like that. It made me realize that you have to put yourself first and be okay with yourself. I had no boundaries. I let things slide because I love somebody. It put me in a position to get hurt, and I got hurt, and it fucking sucked, and it killed me, and it broke my heart. But it's like through that, I can sit here and talk about it with a straight face because I'm not hurt anymore. I healed from it. It made me realize like I'm a good person. I'm a good man. If somebody else made that decision, they need help. And I just pray for her. I hope that she figures out what she needs, because that's not what you do to human beings, especially people that you care about. At the end of the day, it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. We talked about it in a previous podcast. It's like these familiar strongholds are really prisons in disguise. You like get into this stuff where the toxicity, the negativity, it just becomes familiar, and it's like, oh, this is my home. But it's like you get out of that and you're like, wow, this place was a prison. It made me feel like a complete piece of shit. When you get out of it, you realize like what it was.
So within this recent event that happened in your life, where in there was maybe that darkest time? Take us to one that was just like really, really like, I don't know what's gonna happen here.
I don't know how much I could actually say, but you're with somebody for 20 years, you find something like that out, you're gonna be like very, very upset. So yeah, when I found out, the first thing I did was I talked to my pastor. I called him and he didn't answer, but I just like called him and told him. And then it was like, I mean, you guys hear my past, like I've been into some things. That was dark. It was super dark because it was like, that's not who I am anymore. My relationship is gone. My life felt over. You're planning this course with somebody like family, kids, blah, blah, blah. And you just like disappears. I was living out of my truck Then my truck broke down.
Yep.
So like the darkest time was finding out my wife had cheated on me. We were like staying together. Then I'm living in my truck breaks down. I'm Ubering to work. I'm like, life, what the fuck is the point of life? I started thinking about like hurting myself, you know, and reaching out to people about that. So yeah, it was this time where like I like fucking bounced off the rock bottom. My pastor, you, and a couple other people were there to like make sure I didn't hurt myself. And you know, our buddy Hunter, shout out to Hunter, invited us out to Ohio, and that was right when that happened. So I'm really thankful for that. It was hard. It was like going through it, but having the people there to like help, and then, you know, 3 months later, you're good.
When you mentioned earlier, when you were like, fitness kind of saved me, I witnessed fitness save you. Because even through all of this, living in his car breaking down, I mean, he would text me, hey, I'm Ubering to the gym, because he knew he had to get into the gym to get that anger and that frustration out for that day. He wasn't just sitting at home, sulking on the couch and letting anger win. He was in here releasing that anger, like we're saying, to get over all of these feelings.
If I didn't have the gym at that time, you know, something would have happened. So like the gym has been my outreach for a long time, mentally, physically. So it was like the people around me, the gym, just like Mike had gone through some shit, right? Like before that. So just like hearing him say, it's gonna get better, because sometimes you don't want to hear like, you know, Jesus will save you, like I love, you know, God, but you don't want to hear that shit. You want to hear like, hey, yeah, this fucking sucks, but like just keep going and you're gonna get through it. And like that was really what helped. We want to give a huge shout out to is Anabolic Insights. Again, I'm 4 weeks out from a show. We have to figure out what's going on with our blood. Anabolic Insights has been a game changer when it comes to like the blood work space. The ways they do it, his website is amazing. All the metrics that are amazing. You can graph everything. So huge shout out to Anabolic Insights. They gave Mike and I a custom built panel, and they're donating custom built panels to all of our guests. They are through Quest Diagnostics, through LabCorp. You can fill it out online, get your lab, then go to any Quest, any LabCorp, show up and be like, what's up? Get your blood work done, and then you're gonna have those results super fast. In the fitness space, you're doing any type of supplement, please get your blood work done. It's affordable. It'll save your life. If some marker is way off and you had no clue, pay attention to that shit. Like, we're not getting any younger, so just take care of yourself. All right, guys, we're on our last exercise, but I want to give a huge shout out to Factory Nutrition and Wellness. Another one of my buddies, they are a sponsor of our show. He hooks us up with a ton of supplements at really good prices, based out of Imperial Beach. And we got another location inside of Extreme Fitness down south. They always come through and give us supplements to give our guests and to take ourselves. So thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate it.
Life looks like it's turned around. We're being positive. Good things are coming into life. We've got a show coming up. We've got this podcast, Underload. You've also got an app, online coaching that's starting to fire up. You know, tell us about how life is now after kind of getting away from all of the people that were holding you back, that dark crap. Now we've got some light.
Yeah, it's super cool. Like, to be honest, I feel like myself for the first time in probably like 10, 12 years. So it allows me to push for my dreams. Before it was like, play it safe. Like, even if it was a little risky, I wouldn't do it. Now I'm like, let's just fucking see what happens. Like, what's the worst that could happen? I've already been through so much shit.
Yeah.
Coaching, obviously, like coach, that's kind of my passion. I've loved fitness for a very long time. So I'm working on developing an online coaching app that's gonna basically let me scale my ability to help other people. Everything you could possibly think of that you would need for coaching is gonna be integrated into the app. Our podcast, being able to speak our truth to people is good for us, but I think it's also really good for other people. And then, like I said, new girlfriend, so that's somebody that makes me feel like I can just be myself.
Yeah.
And I haven't had that in a very long time. So all of these things are happening. It's really leading by faith and keeping that positivity and treating everything that's negative as just get out of my face or a lesson that you need to learn from. But I'm super grateful for every hard thing I've gone through, because like it led me to here and to how I feel about myself. And yeah, couldn't be happier. So my last two shows, didn't show up. They were in San Diego. My new girlfriend, before I even asked her to be my girlfriend, my show's in Vegas. She took time off and she's like, I'm coming. You know, so it's like, that's the type of shit you gotta pay attention to.
She believes in you, dude.
I had people not show up for me, and then I got this new person that just like wants to be around, and it makes you realize like, be careful of who you surround yourself with.
As you guys know, he does all my nutrition. He does my girlfriend's nutrition, and he's also gonna start doing my oldest son, Jameson. So we're gonna get into kind of like teenage macros. So any dads out there that kind of want to get their sons going in that direction, DM me or DM Peter, and we'll get you set up.
Like I said, I'm 4 weeks from the show. I'm prepping myself because I wanted to show people like, hey, I can do this to myself. I can do this for you. If you are looking to get online coaching, it doesn't have to be for prep. It could be lifestyle. It could be just like, you need a little bit of accountability because that's usually what most people need. We'll get that app going. You guys are going to have a safe place to be able to get fit and also communicate with people that are like-minded. We're glute bridging because it sucks. No, I mean, we're classic, so we need to have glutes, right? So everything else is pretty much exhausted. Adductors are fried. Glute max is like the only thing that's really left. We need it for that like good tie-in for our side chest and like our back double bicep. We got 4.
I think we're on our 6th episode of Underload, and we are looking for anybody that, you guys have seen the show, the type of people that come on the show that have a story and something to kind of share with others that might be down in the dumps. If you're in the San Diego area or really anywhere, and you think you'd be a good fit for our show, want to come on here and train and just kind of talk shop like we do, DM Underload, myself or Peter, Phoenix Rising Physiques, his Instagram. We'll talk to you about getting you on the show.
If you got a story and like you've never had a place to tell it, then I think this is a good spot. Like, we're working out, no one gives a shit about what we're doing, no one can hear us, but we're getting through some things. Like, this already helped me talk about some things that I never really opened up about. I think that men don't get to like vent like that, because if we do to the wrong people, it's considered weak. You got some shit on your mind, you need to talk, hit us up. We could definitely give you a place to do that. So I also want to give a huge shout out to the Compound Lifting Club. This is where we are right now. This is my home gym. This is where I've prepped for my last couple of shows. I live like 2 minutes from here. So I want to give a shout out to Candace. She's the owner here, for allowing us to film and allowing us to use the space and just to keep a really awesome gym. Thank you so much.
The Compound is where Hard Aesthetics kind of came alive. This is kind of where it all started, with him training me for a show and then turning into what we are. So, we really appreciate the Compound for letting us be here. What's our best advice for someone going through shit? What do we say?
Just head first into the storm. Storm comes, you see it coming, everybody's scared of it. They run from it. That bitch is chasing you. Turn around, head on. It'll be over before you know it. If you give yourself some grace, you're gonna become a better person from it, and then you're gonna keep leveling up. So my advice would be, any hard time, treat it not as why me, but like, what can I learn from this? And that's how you're gonna grow. That's probably my best advice. That, and have some faith. Sometimes you put that energy out first and it attracts things, and we think it's the other way around. That's not how the world and the universe works.
I think it's Winston Churchill, similar to the buffalo going in the storm. He just simply says, when you're going through hell, keep going. Like, what else are you gonna do? Get through it.
Yeah, there's a song like that, right? It's like, you might get out before the devil even knows you're actually there. But yeah, just plow through that shit just like anything else. It's gonna build character. I've probably had the most growth in my life over the last year, and the hardest time in my life was over the last year. So you can like play a victim and let that shit bury you, or you can realize we're resilient as humans and we can get over pretty much anything and figure out you're a badass.
How many? That's it. We got it.
I'm usually the one that's dialing in the workout, so this was fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my answers. My past is a little crazy. That's not who I am anymore. If you guys see me at the gym, come say what's up.
That's a wrap. Peter went underload today, his origin story. Hope you guys got a lot out of his answers and they help you in some sort of way, like we always want that to be. Stay tuned for next week's episode of Underload.